So I'm going to be doing a comparison of the Hunter Call of the Wild to Way of the Hunter, not advocating for either game. I enjoy both of these games. I've been playing Way of the Hunter a lot lately because it's new. I've been playing Call of the Wild for quite some time. It's kind of tough to compare because Call of the Wild's been out so long. It's been out, it was released by Expansive Worlds in February of 2017, where Way of the Hunter just came out by Nine Rocks Games in August of 2022. So 6 years versus less than a year. I think Way of the Hunter is a great game with great potential, and it looks like the developer is going to continue to develop things and add to the game, and I'm really enjoying it. But the Call of the Wild has been a great game for a lot of years. I've been playing it and I've enjoyed it. I have hours and hours in this game. So it's really not a fair comparison, but I think it's fair to do a comparison and talk about the highlights of both games and the strengths of both games and the weaknesses of both games. So at least from my perspective. So that's what this video will be about, and I'll try to do not take too deep a dive, but compare what I can, and hopefully it's informative for folks who are considering both games and or are playing one and don't know a lot about the other. Anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and we'll continue and start comparing features. So comparing maps, the Hunter Call of the Wild has this new one coming, Emerald Coast, Australia, arriving June 20th. But there are currently 13 maps all over the world. So here's Europe. Leighton Lake is the Pacific Northwest. Taiga National Park was where? Siberia. Varhuga Savannah would be in Africa. Parque Fernando, which would be in Patagonia. Yukon Valley, Alaska, Cuatro Colinas, Spain, Silver Ridge Peaks and the Rocky Mountains, Te Awaroa, New Zealand, Rancho de la Roya, Mexico, and Mississippi Acres Preserve. Reventuli Coast is north edge of the Baltic Sea. New England Mountains, obviously New England, US. And like I said, Australia coming soon. So that's 13 maps plus one more coming this month. That's a huge, and these maps are all huge. Huge variety of map content to play in this game. So map content on Way of the Hunter, we have Nez Perce Valley, we have Transylvania, and we have Aurora Shores. So difficulty selection in the games are different as well. In Way of the Hunter, you can select different difficulty levels based on how you want to play the game. There's Explorer, which is the easiest, up through Ranger, which is the most challenging, and there's various levels of tutorials and how sensitive the animals are to being alerted, and the I guess quality of life things that show up in the game. So I've been playing on the Hunter mode. I have not played in Ranger yet, but this seems to be the best mode for me. I'm enjoying it in the hunter mode, as opposed to Call of the Wild, where there is no difficulty setting, but you have choices in what you want to turn on and what you want to turn off. So for example, here in Call of the Wild, you have your gameplay settings where you can turn your tutorial hints on and off, turn the missions on and off, and decide what system you want to work in, metric or imperial, how you want to aim, the breathing, the reloading, etc. Your interface, how you want the HUD to be, things you want to show on the map. So all of that is selectable. Video settings, audio settings. You can make settings for your keyboard and mouse, sensitivity, etc. Your key bindings. So all of those are adjustable, but there does not seem to be any difficulty setting that adjusts animal sensitivity or anything like that. So that being said, once you've selected your difficulty in Way of the Hunter, what you can do is you can go back and go into your settings. In your settings, you can adjust from there, what elements of the game you want to change. From your HUD visibility, make your video quality adjustments, audio adjustments. You can adjust your controls, your key bindings, and your hunter sense. So once your hunter sense kind of gets a default setting based on the difficulty as to what's on, and then you can adjust your hunter sense for your preference on how you like to play the game. In terms of guns and equipment, on Call of the Wild, once you're in the cache, you can go to the store and purchase items. You can look at your storage. You can look at what your character is carrying, etc. So, as far as guns go, there's much larger variety of guns available on Call of the Wild. Some are free. Some you have to purchase. As you can see, there's just a bunch of rifles listed here. Handguns. Large selection of handguns. Shotguns. Large selection of handguns and bows. There's regular bows and there are crossbows that you can select from. So unlike Way of the Hunter, your weapon tier is not determined by the rifle, it's determined by the ammo. So when you look at rifle ammo, here it tells you the tier, the animal tier that it's recommended for. Whereas in Way of the Hunter, there's only one ammo for each of the guns, and that gun determines what tier animal you'd be hunting with it. So here you can select multiple types of rounds for each of these guns, and then that round determines what class you'd be hunting with it. So that's a little bit of a difference there. You have greater selection of sights for handguns and shotguns, etc. You've got a selection of collars for all the different animals, and you also have scent lures in this game. I haven't used them as long as I've played this game. Decoys for bird hunting. Got some consumables. First aid kits, scent eliminator. You can change your clothing. And you have a variety of backpacks. And unlike Way of the Hunter. In this game, your backpack determines how much you can carry on your inventory, and it goes by weight. So you can carry a pretty large variety of things, carry more weapons, and more lures in this game, whereas in Way of the Hunter, your inventory is fixed. You can only carry 2 weapons, 3 lures, and your binocular. So when I'm in the cache, I can go and I can look at my character, and it shows me the backpack size I have, what my total carrying capacity is, 29 pounds, and I'm currently carrying 25.18. So that kind of dictates what I'm able to carry. I can also, while I'm here, select my character, male or female, select his outfit, select again the backpack size, and the backpack color. Doesn't look like I have a choice. I only have the one backpack. So if I go into my storage, here's my inventory. So I'm carrying these weapons. I am carrying this ammo for those weapons. I've got these sights equipped. I've got these collars. And I've got a tree stand with me, which is not in the other game. Also, there's tents. I can carry a tent, and I can set a tent down and use it as a waypoint to fast travel to. So it kind of becomes a movable host of operations, so I can move around the map and put my tent down if I want to return to a particular location by fast travel, which is convenient. Again, that's not something we can do in Way of the Hunter. So in Way of the Hunter, you access your inventory or your weapons through the storage at the lodge or through the back of your vehicle. And as far as guns go, there's a smaller selection of guns. You can go to the shop, and the rifles are listed here. And you'll see the Way of the Hunter has brand names. They must have licensed some of these brand names and types, weapon types, from the manufacturers, whereas you'll notice in Call of the Wild, they seem to be made-up names. But you've got rifles, you've got shotguns, and 2 crossbows, as a matter of fact. As far as gear goes, you've got 2 types of binoculars, and whatever collars are appropriate for the animals in the game. Just a few attachments, but you'll see there's no handguns. As far as vehicles go, there's only one vehicle in Call of the Wild. It's a little ATV type thing, a 4-wheeler or quad, whereas in this game you're given a Jeep, I believe in the beginning, and then you can purchase these quads. So your inventory, you are entitled to carry 2 weapons, primary and a secondary, 1 set of binoculars, and 3 collars, and that's all you can have in your inventory. You can access this inventory from the back of your vehicle, or like I said, from this storage container here in the main lodge. So in looking at your inventory on Call of the Wild, we can take a look, and there's kind of an inventory wheel with hotkeys 1 through 0, and you can see I'm carrying a crossbow, a shotgun, 2 different rifles, my binoculars, a couple of lures. So there's a lot more variety here on what I can carry, and again, it goes by weight. So if I was to select, let's see, I can add, so this tells me I've got my deer bleat collar in slot 6, I've got my moose collar in slot 9, my predator collar in slot 7. So if I want to put my duck collar on there, I can put it there. So in each game, there are skills and perks that you earn as you play. It's a little bit different between the two games. So in Way of the Hunter, you can go to your character and you can look at your perks. And your perks are earned by playing the game. So each time you do something with your with a particular weapon or particular action, you earn towards achieving a particular perk. And once you achieve that perk, you gain the perk. So in this particular one, with a bolt action rifle, I'll get the opportunity to hold my breath by 25% longer. And in order to achieve that, I need to hit heart, lung, artery 10 times with a bolt action rifle. You can see I haven't used the lever action rifle too often, so I haven't earned that that particular perk with a lever action rifle. I've only achieved 2 out of 10 so far. And it shows you what your progress is along the way to the perk. So there are rifle perks, shotgun perks, and hunting perks divided up by different activities. So there's a few I haven't earned yet, silent crawler, etc. This one, I don't go prone very often, obviously, so travel 7 kilometers in a prone stance to earn this. I don't know, that seems kind of difficult to do. That would take a long time. Let's see, what is this one? 50% extended range of photo mode camera by collecting Transylvania collectibles. I have 5 of 7 so far. Strategist, this one I haven't earned yet. So yeah, this one you hit. I'm going to get this one soon. I just haven't hunted from a hunting stand too much recently. But if I hit a heart, lung, or artery 50 times from a hunting stand, I will get 30% less sway, scent and visibility, and noise reduction while I'm in a hunting stand. So that'd be a good one to have. So so those are the perks in Way of the Hunter. So in Call of the Wild, your perks and skills are done a little bit differently than Way of the Hunter. Rather than a learn by doing type system that Way of the Hunter adopted, here, as you gain XP, you get to select your skills and your perks. So there are skills. Skills are related to your character's ability when hunting. And there are perks. And perks are related to particular equipment. Rifles, handguns, shotgun, and archery. So at certain levels, you earn, each time you achieve a level by gaining XP, you'll earn a skill point or a perk point, and it alternates back and forth. And then you get to choose how you want to spend those skills and perks to build your character the way you prefer to play the game. So in the skill tree, you have a stalker category, and you have an ambusher category. And so there's different skills that you can go ahead and purchase, and it gives you information on what those skills are. So for instance, my ability to predict the wind, there are 2 levels there. And if I have a skill point to spend, I can unlock the first level. And then when another one is available to spend, you can unlock the second level. I believe you stop earning skill points and perk points at level 50. So you can't learn everything in the game. So you need to be somewhat selective in how you spend your points. So you need to kind of give it some thought as you build your character. You can reset your skills. It would cost you 45,500 coin to go ahead and do that. But you can go ahead and reset your skills, and if you want to change your build, and go ahead and reselect how you want to spend those points. So those are the skills. As far as perks go, again, you've got perks for rifles, handguns, shotguns, and archery. So I use mostly rifles. I very rarely use handguns. So you see, I put all my points into the rifle skills, or I'm sorry, rifle perks. I somewhat use archery, somewhat use shotguns, very rarely use a handgun. So my perks were spent accordingly. And again, you have the opportunity to reset your perks at a cost if you want to go ahead and rebuild your perks for weapons. So a little bit different approach with Call of the Wild. Okay, so in terms of animals in the game, obviously in Call of the Wild there's going to be a far greater variety of animals because of the greater variety of maps. But in this game, they call it the Codex as opposed to Way of the Hunter, where they have what they call their encyclopedia. So if we go into the Codex and click on Wildlife, we'll see a list of all the different animals that are in the game. Again, like I said, there's a much greater variety of animals that you can hunt in this game, depending on the map that you're on. This is just a list of all the animals. They're obviously not all of these animals are on every map, so the animals appropriate to the particular geographic location that you're hunting are they going to be the animals that you're able to hunt. And so, in this list of animals, as you can see, pretty extensive. It's just, for example, look at the mountain goat. Gives you information about the mountain goat, their behavior, habitat, senses, etc. What class of ammo that you would use to hunt them, and a general difficulty rating in how hard it is to hunt that particular animal. So that's the way the Codex works in Call of the Wild, and the information that you're provided on each animal. So as I mentioned in Way of the Hunter, they have what's called the encyclopedia. And when you go into this encyclopedia, you can select animals. And again, you'll get a list of the animals that are in the game, and obviously not as extensive as the animals that are in Call of the Wild. When you they're listed by tier here, and so let's look at the mountain goat. And so when you look at the mountain goat in the encyclopedia on this game, you have a general description of the animal. You've got the hunting tier, the recommended hit energy, a little bit more technical information. Recommended hit energy for the ammo that you're going to need to get a good kill. Talks about the life cycle when they're drinking, resting, and eating. Their general weights at their ages. Description of their body variations, habitat, the trophy rating ranges as well. So that's the kind of information that's provided to you with Way of the Hunter in the encyclopedia. So I'm going to end this part here. Just wanted to go over some of the general differences in the game. In either game, not advocating for either game, saying one is better than the other. I enjoy both. Clearly, there are differences in the approach to each game. In the next video, in this section, I'm going to talk about the hunting experience in each game. So we'll go out and we'll pick an animal to hunt, and we'll talk about how to use the callers, how to navigate the maps, how to read the maps, and once you get an animal, how to track how to track an animal during the hunt, how to track an animal after the kill, and what information is provided when you harvest an animal, etc. So those are the kinds of things that we'll talk about in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope it was informative, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.